Hello everyone and welcome to Willow Talk once again by my lonesome in the studio today because Elisa Healy is off being a cricketer. Hads is away as well. He'll return shortly. Heels we might not see for a while because she's got a World Cup to prepare for, which is fair enough. But we've got a great episode here with a couple of great interviews coming your way on Willow Talk. We've got Jake Weatherald just around the corner. So he scored runs for fun last Shield season. It puts him in the frame for an outside chance at an Ashes berth. Obviously, George Bailey and the Australian selectors are looking around, scouring everywhere to see who's going to start things at the top of the order for the Ashes team against England starting in November. So Jake, 906 runs last season in Shield cricket. So he is in the frame, in the words of Curious George, the selector. So we'll catch up with Jake in a sec. And later on, we've got an interview with quite possibly the bubbliest character, the most, I wouldn't call her out there character. She just hears a question and then answers it in her own great way. Grace Harris, who's a key part of our one-day team that's going to the World Cup and hopefully bringing home a trophy in India next month. Grace will grace us with her presence a bit later on in Willow Talk. But let's get it rolling right now. The first of these interviews with Jake Weatherald. Jake, thanks for joining us, mate, on the cusp of hopefully what is another fruitful summer for yourself and who knows where it can end. How are things?
Thanks, mate. Pretty cruisy. Pretty cruisy. Been up in Darwin for a while, which has been cool. Playing a bit of club cricket, playing with the Oz A stuff and just, be a top end series as well. So it's been a good off-season. Or not off-season, just another part of a season. But, good, not the main part of it anyway. So it's been good to go back home, go fishing and just relax and play some cricket. So ready to go this season.
I would have thought, mate, you would just spent the whole winter in Hobart just doing indoors and enjoying seeing sun every 3 days or something like that. It's not the case. Yeah,
it might be even less, maybe less sun than that, maybe 2 weeks maybe. I was pretty adamant not spending any time there. Not that it's not a great place in winter, but obviously my wife lives in Adelaide and I, wanted to go play some cricket and you can't play cricket there, unfortunately. So when I knew that I was in the A squad, I sort of said, I may as well go up to Darwin and play some cricket for my home club and spend some time up there with some friends. So sort of worked out nicely.
Mate, it's great to have you for a chat, and obviously you set it alight last Shield season with nearly 1,000 runs, over 900, and in terms of run-scoring openers, you were the best by a long way, so you've got yourself into the situation of George Bailey's words, you're in contention. That means that for the rest of us, we've got you in this bat-off, mate, and there's nothing like being involved in a bat-off, so we'll get to that a bit later on. But back to the start, I'm intrigued by your upbringing, Northern Territory. Mm-hmm. What was childhood like for you in NT?
It was awesome, great fun. It was just, a lot of fishing, a lot of sport, obviously being so hot up there, a lot of AFL, AFL dominates up there, so spending a lot of my time playing football when I was young, and then I was lucky enough to have some good close mates, a guy that went on to play first class cricket as well, Tom Andrews, his old fella sort of got me into cricket, said, you play a bit of tennis as well, I think you'd be handy at cricket, and I sort of fell for it then when I was about 10 years old, and then I was lucky that when you're in Darwin, all you do is just play sport non-stop, so I was able to sort of pick up the skills pretty quickly and then play men's cricket at a young age as well too, so I think I got a lot of opportunities I probably wouldn't have gotten down south. Obviously being able to play men's cricket at like 13, 14 sort of thing, C grade and A grade and all that sort of stuff. And then from there, I was just able to sort of learn my craft quickly. And then once I was to a certain age, my mum sent me down to boarding school. So Darwin was a great fun, but once I got to a point where I needed to increase my education and more sporting opportunities, I needed to move down south. So the unfortunate truth is you've got to move away from home. But it was good fun for the time being.
Yeah, in that part of the world where I'm guessing a lot of your role models you only saw through a television. In terms of cricketing or big sporting role models, with all due respect to Darwin, it's not like you can just pop down the street and watch a bit of first-class cricket or international cricket. It's hard to come by up there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was lucky enough to watch one international game, I reckon, up there. I think it was Sri Lanka versus Australia. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, like obviously for me it was pretty cool experience to meet. Obviously I got to meet Dizzy and Binger and stuff like that, and a few other guys at Darren Lehman and stuff like that when I was up there, which was pretty cool. And then, but yeah, apart from that, your role models are just through a TV screen sort of thing. So, like you said, it makes it a little bit difficult in terms of inspiration, but I was, it's what it was. I was still able to find my ways to be inspired by these guys, even though I was, 1,000 kilometres away sort of thing. So.
It was good for maybe the youngsters up there because they got to see yourself and a few others in full flight recently for the A series against Sri Lanka A up in that part of the world. But I'll get to the cricket in a sec. I did note that you blocked out 5 days after it to go fishing. Did you go on an expedition? Did you find something? Did you pat any crocodiles? Did you stay out of the water because of the sharks? All of those things. What was that like?
Yeah, that was good fun. I just sort of one of my few hobbies are fishing. So when you're up the north, you don't get many opportunities to go away for such a long period of time. And it was sort of like I'm just going to go on a boat for 5 days, spend 5 days on a boat out in the middle of nowhere fishing. So that was pretty cool. So just blocked myself out for that and just said, no, I'm going to decompress a little bit from playing cricket or anything like that and just enjoy that, which was cool. But plenty of crocodiles and plenty of big fish, thankfully.
What do you do when you're in a little I don't know. What was the size of the boat? Was it a tinny or?
No. We were in luxury, mate. Don't worry about that. We're a 7 meter boat for one of them, and then we stayed on a mothership on one of the rivers there. We got clearance from one of the elders to stay in one of the rivers, which was pretty cool. So, it was just a cool experience. Got to stay on aircon condition with the chef and stuff like that. It was great.
Jeez. Glamping on water. Didn't pick you for that.
Yeah,
but,
it was pretty cool, yeah.
Did you catch anything good?
Well, caught plenty of barramundi, that's for sure. It was the weather was a little bit mean to us in terms of the wind, but in general we caught plenty. I think we caught like probably a couple hundred barramundi over the trip.
A couple hundred?
Pretty cool. Yeah, so that was cool. Yeah. And that was a hard trip apparently, so I'd like to see what it's like when it goes well. Yeah.
Jeez. Can breed the barramundi. What's a better feeling? Cracking a cover drive that skims across the turf and gets to the boundary in about 0.08 of a second, or hauling in a big barra?
A big barra, definitely. There's no other feeling like it. It's good. A lot funner. Cricket, you still got to face the next ball after, where barramundi is just like, that might be once in a lifetime sort of thing. So, that's a pretty cool experience when you get to do that.
200 of the suckers when you're up there. That's incredible. Anyway, to the cricket, because you're a cricketer, and that's why you're on Willow Talk. This is not fishing talk. Yeah, exactly. Well, we can have a spin-off if you want. I don't know if you want to be involved if we go down that path. Yeah. But the cricket, so that record that I mentioned, Shield last season, it was overnight success. Took you about 10 years to get to the overnight success, but the opening runs that you the runs you scored as an opener, 906 of them, average of 50, fantastic consistency, fantastic season. Obviously, you want the same as a cricketer. Do you basically do exactly everything you did to prepare and then compete through that summer, or you just going in with blank slate to try and get the same result?
It's a good question. I don't really know, to be fair. I haven't had a season like that and gone and done it again. So it's sort of a question I don't really know how to answer. I think from what I've sort of tried to lean on a few people that have done well, and obviously we're so lucky in this country to have so many great players that have played and made so many runs in first-class cricket in our country. Obviously the past players that I've been able to sort of lean on a little bit and sort of talk to them, and they just, sort of reiterate the same thing, like your job is to go out there and just bat. The world sort of takes care of itself when you can do that. If you sort of buy into the extra noise of trying to do the exact same thing again, or trying to back the exact same way, it can cause a few issues. So I think that for them, it's just said, just go out there and try to repeat what you're doing last season, and just focus on game by game, which seems pretty boring. But at the same time, I think that's what sort of worked last year, being consistent in my prep and consistent in what I was doing, and then sort of just rolling that out and just trusting that it was enough to compete against good players for long periods of time and make runs in all conditions. So I don't think much more than that really that I can do. So, yeah.
read a great article on Crick Info about you, and you obviously sat down for an interview with them. And firstly, what's it like when you actually do an interview like that and then you read it back and you go, did I say that? Or they've got the whole context of everything right, comfortable with that, or don't trust journalists anymore? Where is it?
Yeah, no, not really. I haven't even read it, so...
oh, cool. Glad I brought it up.
Yeah, so no, I don't really read any media stuff. To be fair, I'm not, as I said, like, yeah, I'm not, yeah, to be honest, I'm like, apart from when I play cricket, I don't really think about cricket at all, to be honest with you. I love it, don't get me wrong, but just my personality of, I'm not the most, I'm pretty perfectionistic sort of guy, so I just feel as though the best way for me is just to once I'll just stick to playing and doing that, and then everything else sort of just takes care of itself. But no, I have been sent a lot of things about my media interviews and stuff like that. People are just fed up with seeing my face, which is good to see. My wife is just a bit overhearing about me, and generally half the things she hears is for the first time too. So
yeah, oh, well, that's lovely feedback from your partner in life.
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly right.
So you guys live apart, do you, during the summer? How's that?
During the winter, we generally do. And during the summer, really, at the moment too, yeah, like she owns her own company, Allied Health Company, so she's just full on with that, and lives in Adelaide. And unfortunately, being down in Tassie sort of doesn't allow her to do the job she wants to do or do the work she wants to do. So, which I'm not going to drag her away from that. So I just sort of said, oh, look, I enjoy it down there in Tassie with my friends. I've got friends from my cricket club, but also the state guys as well, and it keeps me occupied for the time being, and then we can see each other every second week, and we sort of try and make it work while we can, and Cricket Tasmania are very good at accommodating that for us. But yeah, it's just the way it is at the moment. I'm sure over time we'll figure out a way of being together non-stop, but at the moment it's just, yeah, it needs to stay like that.
Yeah. Oh, you're making it work, so that's magnificent. Sorry to go down the path of, personal
That's
life
all right.
and things like that. But
That's all right.
Like I just planted a seed in my own mind, but I'll bring that up at home later tonight. Just with,
Exactly right.
with the cricket, back to the cricket again, and I brought up that Cricket Info article because it said in there, not that you've read it, that you're tinkering. Like went down the path of like a noted tinkerer. So what do you tinker with, and do you have to stop yourself from doing it too much? Where does it sit? Because you said perfection is what you're after, but sometimes that can drive you down a path where it's further away from perfection, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, that's actually a good point. I probably would have definitely had the context that I've always been someone who's sought perfection as a goal of, like a wrong goal probably, and the tinkering part of it, while I think your game is going to always evolve in some small facet throughout your career, whether it be technically or mentally, it's probably not looking for it as much as what I probably did before. I probably tinkered, and like that's just the element of growing as well as a player. I didn't really, I was always big around being as best as I could, and I think everyone else is in Australia, but the way I did that was constantly trying to reinvent myself or constantly trying to find the best technical things for me, and my tinkering probably was more like changing instead of tinkering. So then I went to, as I've got older and more, or not older, but wiser and a bit more confident in my game, I've probably become more of a slight tinkerer of things that naturally occur, and not doing it because I need to, but doing it, or not doing it because I want to do it, but doing it because I need to do it. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense what I'm saying, but it's probably more on the lines of just doing things in minute things that might occur. So if we play in the subcontinent or playing conditions that, allow me to, I might have to get a bit lower in my technique, and just naturally letting that naturally occur without me going, all right, I need to completely overhaul my technique to play in the subcontinent, or I need to, the ball's nipping around and I didn't like the way I looked when I batted against this nipping ball. I'm going to go out and change my technique because of that. I'm going to sort of go, I've got the tools in me right now. I'm going to just back that in. And while it's not perfect, I think that's where I've accepted that perfectionistic part of it's just never going to exist. I have enough to hopefully be successful in most scenarios. So.
Yeah. That does make sense, even though when you were riffing there, it didn't feel like it made. Yeah, I know exactly what you're trying to get at. Obviously, cricket is a game played with technique and the physical side of the game, but then there's the mental side of the game, which it has come up in your regard a few years ago when you stepped away. You just went, and it was the middle of COVID. It was just a weird time, but getting the headspace right to do what you want to do because you're good at it. Do you reckon it took you a stage where you had to step back and then kind of reevaluate and go again? Or how did that whole time in the long run help you to get where you are right now?
Yeah, that's a good question, I guess. Probably looking back on it, probably gives you a bit of perspective as well about what's important. Did I really want to be a professional cricketer anymore? Did I want to continue the stresses of being a professional athlete? Obviously, everyone finds it different. But what I came out with it was that I wanted to be a professional cricketer. And while everyone gets challenged mentally with different things and what they go through, I was able to figure out a way to sort of manage it. And by no means am I at the other side of it and sitting there going, I feel amazing every day of my life now. But, the mental stresses, it's more just understanding what I needed to do in order to deal with those mental pressures of being a professional cricketer and being a professional athlete and not having to, how would I say it, sort of feel as though that it's the be-all and end-all of things. So I probably that moment probably helped me align myself to what I really needed to do, what I believe was right in terms of what I need to do to be healthy, mentally healthy enough, and probably, like you said, the perfectionistic part of it, sort of take that away from me, strip that away from my mind, and just go, no, I've got enough in me right now to be successful and enough to just enjoy my cricket. And by no means am I going to sit there and say that I'm perfectly fine now and every day that I sit there and go, oh, everything's awesome. But at the same time, I know I can work through it in a way that's going to be, I still can walk out, enjoy my cricket, enjoy my life outside of cricket. And my life's a lot more fulfilled at the moment than it was back then.
You make a decision like that in 1980, you get labelled as being soft. But in 2020, there are parameters, there's help, and you can work your way through it. And most importantly, it feels like from people who are in charge of programs and Cricket Australia, there's a big element of patience given to people who decide, what, I just want to hit the reverse button here and just chill out for a bit. How would you say that scene is, and are there further improvements to come in that space? Because everyone wants to help everyone now.
Yeah, I think it's been exceptional the way that especially Saka did it for me. They were awesome. They were very accommodating. Obviously, the head of high performance there, Tim Nielsen at the time, Jason Gillespie and stuff like that. They were there around at the time, and they were very supportive. And it's such a new it was a new concept really about letting players sort of have that time off. I think a lot of the time, you think about injuries and having time off and stuff like that. But I think with players, as you said, like back in the day, it probably would have been something that, you expected to just continue to play, and where that led me would have probably been retirement probably. So I was lucky that I was in the right circumstances, the right time with the right people around me. Do I think that things could be better? I don't know the answer to that. I think the luxury I've had is very supportive and very accommodating, and I'm not sure that everyone would get that, but I can't speak for anyone else. But for my part, I've had a very supportive environment around me to allow me to do what I wanted to do, and I've been very lucky. The people around me that I've seen that while he needs some time off, we feel as though he's going to be better when he comes back, which is something that I'll be eternally grateful for those people to have backed me in like that. And I've been able to walk away thinking that I've got more control over my mind now than I did, when I was a kid. So that's pretty cool.
Mate, it's a cool story, full stop, given, okay, we see the runs that you score. We don't know and it's not like you took that step back and then all of a sudden 13 minutes later you're scoring all those runs. There was a bit of a process to build up and build up, and then you as I said before, burst onto the scene after 15 years of grind to get there.
Exactly right.
How did it make you feel when George Bailey goes, you are on the radar in terms of national selection?
I'll probably shit myself a little bit. There's no lying about that. Obviously, it's you sort of play first class cricket. You get comfortable with the people you're around. You get comfortable with the environment. You get comfortable with everything. All the stuff you needed to do is not really that much media stuff, but just performing in first class cricket, it's not that hard. Like it's hard, but it's you get used to the environment you're in, and then suddenly when they say, you're in line to play, you could be playing a series, Ashes series, or you've been talked about to potentially play. That stuff, I'm not going to hide away from the fact that it sort of is daunting. That stuff is, nerve-wracking, but at the same time, it's the fun of being a professional cricketer. You get the new experiences that you might not ever get again. So I think I'm just trying to accept whatever comes my way, but at the same time, not being quite open and honest, the fact that, it is somewhat daunting at times, but I'm excited for whatever happens, really.
How does that comment get delivered to you? Is it someone, you don't look like a guy who's logging onto the various news sites each morning to see what's being said about Australian cricket. Someone's obviously tapped you up about what has happened. I don't know if George rang you personally, but how does that message get delivered to you? Look, what happened?
It's generally most of my mates will just say, mate, I can't believe they're even thinking about picking you. That's ridiculous and stuff like that.
Thanks.
So it's generally just stuff like that, which is pretty funny. It's most of them are like, oh, mate, we've already booked our tickets and stuff like that. Just funny things like that. Nothing. They all know it's just, they know what I'm like, and they know that I'm pretty keen on just not looking at most of that stuff. So, but no, it's just funny how, and then I have talked to George, nothing specifically about the Ashes or anything, but obviously talking about the Australia A stuff, and I'm probably played enough cricket to read between the lines enough to know that if you do well, then you're a chance. But it's just generally my mates just taking the piss out of me, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's got us excited. I'm saying to the guys in here about the situation for the first four Shield games this season. It's just the best Shield you can have because there's opportunity out there. It's like you when you go and throw your line in up there in the top end, and there's a big barra there somewhere, and hopefully you're the guy to haul it in. So
yeah, fingers crossed.
How's that for a metaphor? Yeah, fingers crossed.
It was good.
Just on a guy you know really well, and I'll bring Travis Head into this whole discussion because the way you go about your cricket. So there's two Travis Head international careers. There's pre getting dropped, and he's talked about this, hasn't he? And I'd like to know how you've discussed it with him because he's his mate, and you've known each other for a very long time. There's the first version of Travis Head on the international stage who is not quite doing things the way that he naturally does them, and now he's the second part is the Travis Head that is natural, and it's like, you know what, I'm going to play with the no F's given type mentality and play my game and do it my way and go out my way. Have you guys talked about that much?
I haven't talked about that much with him, no, but in terms of being around him, that's something that I've always admired about him. Obviously, we probably don't talk a lot about cricket, me and him. We probably just talk about other stuff, but in terms of the way he's always been as a player, I've always admired him the most out of every cricketer I've ever been around. And I've been around some pretty amazing cricketers in the way they've prepared, but he's just someone who's so amazing at, I'll say that in the most nice way possible, but he's sort of like, he can accept failure better than anyone else that I've ever seen. He's so mentally healthy in the fact that, like you spoke about, like, he's able to go out and play with freedom when the situation probably doesn't. Most people are saying, I'd probably constrict and think about, what about all the repercussions of something. He's just someone who's done the complete opposite, which I've just absolutely admire about him. And even when he's trained, I've watched him train so much, and I've sat there and just gone like, this guy looks like he should be, playing C grade sort of stuff. He has a nicking off every second ball, and then he walks out of the training session. I remember a training session vividly, and he just sort of walked out, and I said, mate, are you okay? Like, we've got a game tomorrow, everything all right? He goes, mate, I'm smacking him. You see that cover drive I played just before? It was awesome. And I was just like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, I remember just walking away going, that bloke's not going to make a run at all. Next day, piles on absolutely goes out and smacks the shit out of them. I was just like, fucking hell. Like, I would have been up all night stressing about what I was doing. I would have been like, my career's over. If I don't make runs tomorrow, I've lost it. Well, he was the complete opposite, which is something that I completely admire about him. And I think that's something that I'm so lucky to have seen someone have that mentality, then go on to play international cricket. Obviously, he didn't start as well as he probably had wanted, but I think that's sort of happened in Shield cricket as well, where he sort of had to build up that confidence, the fact that he can be just who he wants to be when he walks out there. And when he does, you see the best version of himself. And it's something that I've been very fortunate to see enough of, which is pretty cool. So,
yeah. How long you've known each other for?
Well, I think I debuted when I was 21. He would have been 2017, 16. I've known each other for before then as well. We played school cricket against each other, played state cricket against each other. So probably nearly 20 years nearly. So quite a long time. Well, now probably 15, 16 years, sorry. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, that debut, you're playing against a guy like Doug Bollinger for New South Wales. I can only presume that Doug would have been handing out free advice to the debutant on that occasion.
Yeah, no, definitely. Bit of foreshadowing, obviously. We both have the same haircut now. So it was one of those things where we both, I didn't know what I was probably looking at my doppelganger at the time when he was running in. Was having a beard, no hair on the top. But yeah, no, he was saying that I've grown up watching. And it's, when you're that young, you just sort of either can be daunted by the opportunity or, I was just like, how cool is this facing Doug Bollinger? And now I look back on it, I should have been more scared, to be fair, but no, it was cool.
Was he giving it to you, or was he had others?
No, it wasn't too bad with me. Wasn't too bad with me. Probably because he thought I wasn't much chop anyway, so he just thought this bloke's going to get out anyway. Who cares? Sport of its legend. This bloke, we got Callum Ferguson, Tom Cooper, and Travis Head to come. I may as well save up for these blokes.
Half century on debut, mate. At a good clip as well. So all good. Alex Carey was in that match as well. So
yeah, he was. Yeah, he was too.
So back with on Alex Carey.
Yep.
Different characters, same results though. It feels like with him and Travis coming out of South Australia and doing things on the big stage.
Yeah. No. Again, someone who's probably the opposite of Heady. They're obviously very close mates with each other. They spend a lot of time with each other now. But yeah, completely opposite, I feel, the way they go about it. Kez is so meticulous in the way he goes about things, constantly tinkering with the way he bats, constantly I didn't take him as someone who'd be really thoughtful in the way he goes about things, but when I spent a lot of time with him, he's someone who does actually think about the game quite a lot in the way he wants to go about batting, and especially his batting. I've noticed a lot of technical changes since he first started to what he's doing now in his batting. So I think he's someone who's just constantly trying to reinvent himself to be better, which is probably the reason why he's got so good so quickly in the Australian team. He sort of got into the Australian team, struggled a little bit, but then just because he's so adaptable and so good at and so meticulous in the way he goes about things, he just found a way to stay in the team, but then be successful in the team. So, it's really cool to watch someone who's I'm probably the more mould of Travis in terms. I know it's the more mould of Alex in terms of the way I think about the game, but so just to see how he's been able to find ways to thrive in that environment is pretty cool.
So with you this summer, how do you not think about the game in the spare moments that you're playing the game without trying to get ahead of yourself, given that the selector said what he said, but you've got a lot of cricket to play, and then, we've talked about the physical side of it, the tinkering, all of that, the mental side of it. How do you bundle all that up and enjoy your summer?
Yeah, I probably don't know yet, but I think at the same time, I'm just going to try and enjoy what I'm doing at this. I can't control what I do. I can't control how many runs I make. I can't control what the selectors could do. I could make 400s in a row and still not get picked. So I can't control that. And I could make 20 of the best 30s ever and feel ready to go and still get picked, so I just don't know you don't know what's going to happen. I think it's just one of those things where you just got to go out and try and enjoy what you're doing. I know it's still going to be nerve wracking and all that sort of stuff, but finding ways to just go out and enjoy your batting and focus on your process and all the things that made you successful in the first place, and just try to repeat that and just stay within your own bubble. And I think they're the things I'll probably try to do. And whatever happens. I think there's a lot of great cricketers around Australian cricket at the moment, and if I can just be a part of doing well again and putting my name up, I think I'd do myself proud, so I'm happy.
Yeah, treat it like a fishing trip. You're going to have
exactly
fun,
right.
And it might be great, might come home with nothing, but that's the way it goes.
Exactly right. Yeah, exactly right.
You play a bit of BBL as well thrown in there somewhere?
Yep. Potentially, for the Hurricanes. They might not need me this year. They're pretty good. So me and Bowie have been taking the piss out of each other, sort of saying we might be running waters for the first part of it, which would be fun.
I think you'll be right. I think they'll find a spot for you somewhere. We are off to a quick drinks break on Willow Talk. Back in a moment with Grace Harris. So, Grace, welcome to Willow Talk, first of all.
Thank you for having me.
No worries.
I'm looking forward to this chat,
yes.
actually.
So, obviously, you know who our co-host is.
Yeah.
Who is not in the room, unfortunately, because I think she could really value add here.
Yeah.
However, she did say, when you're interviewing Grace, don't worry about too much. She'll carry the interview. Is that fair?
Yeah, it is fair, actually. I generally take up a fair bit of oxygen in the rooms that I enter. So, talking's not a weakness of mine.
Has it always been a strength?
It has been, actually. That and, fair amount of eating. But playing a cut shot, not really. But that's not a strength.
You can work on that.
But talking's good, yeah.
So has this always been the case from the time that you worked out that you could make noise out of your mouth from a very young age? Your parents have passed this on to you?
I think so, really. I think I get it from Mum. Mum's the talker. Dad's the old quiet, bit of quick wit to it, to his sentences, but they're very few and far between, and Mum and I seem to carry a fair bit of the chat at home.
And the siblings, where did they fit in all of this?
Two of them can talk a fair bit.
Yeah.
Laura's probably the quietest one we've got. Eliza, my eldest sister, she's quite a chatty one. And
got you covered, or you got her covered?
Oh no, I reckon she's got me covered. Easy. She can talk. She's a teacher, so used to giving the lectures to the school kids.
So when you broke into teams, were you like this? Like, very outward and I wouldn't say noisy, but, happy to talk.
Outgoing.
Yeah.
An extrovert.
Up.
I don't know, actually.
Or did you just try to blend in early doors?
Well, when I first got picked, for cricket I was younger, like 17, and there was a lot older individuals within the squads that I was often in. So I might have stayed in my own lane a little bit, early days.
Yeah.
I've really come into my own recently.
And why is that? With the sinister laugh on the end of it. Why would that be?
Just because I kind of know I can do whatever I want now. And, there were rules and regulations I wasn't quite used to when I was early days, especially when it was kind of going professional, and I probably wasn't the most professional person or athlete. I've since changed my ways.
How? What have you developed in that sense to get as professional as possible?
Well, I saw a dietitian. That was one step. Had to change my old 12 Weet-Bix and Maccas and all that I did eat for lunch and breakfast and 5 dinners into maybe just a couple of dinners, big lunch, big brekkie,
Was anything like stricken off forever, or is it all about moderation and balance?
It's all about moderation and balance. I can't do the old 24 Krispy Kreme donuts anymore at the airports. I used to.
Anymore?
I may have loved buying the old 24 pack at the airport. When you see Krispy Kreme donuts in like Sydney, Brisbane Airport. Yeah. Oh, I could smash a packet of donuts. So these days, there's like 1 or 2 less donuts, but I'll treat myself every now and again, but I can't do the old 24 packs anymore.
That's what I was going to say. So if you're restricting yourself to be as professional as can be, but sometimes you look at the calendar and go, cool, I've got 5 minutes off here. I can go and, treat myself. What is that treat?
Oh, an ice cream probably.
Yeah?
Ice cream's probably the go-to lately. I don't mind the homemade lemon meringue pie though, but it's getting it homemade. That's the hardest part. No one's willing to cook it for me when I roll in.
You want it done for you.
Yeah, I need to tee up Mum every now and again. Listen, Mum, hey, what do you feel like making today? Because I've got a recipe for you.
I know it's hot in here.
I am, and I've just run upstairs. So I'm adding into I'm adding into under lights and a bit of activity, and I've already run hot, so apologies.
It's all right. And it's a training day as well. I did look out the back window, and everyone's working hard out there.
Yeah, so. We're preparing for India, and we have to do sauna sessions. So I'm trying to chill down from a sauna, and
how was that?
It's not my favourite, put it that way. It's not my favourite. And I reckon anybody in the sauna with me is a bit like, oh, no, this girl needs to go. Like, she needs to get out.
Are you talkative in an ice bath?
I have to be. Like, you're sitting in a hot room, and the only thing I can think about is, I hope I don't pass out here because I am sweating bullets. And everyone else seems to be like zen as, and, a bit of about it. And I'm like, no, I can't do this. This is silence. This is hot. It smells in here. I'm trapped in a little room. I don't want to be here. So, I don't know. I might have to I'll work on it.
What about the flip side of active recovery for an elite athlete, the ice bath? Are you talkative in that?
Yeah, I'm talkative in... There's not a lot of things I'm not talkative in, to be honest. Underwater.
You give that a crack still.
It is a little less talkative underwater. Got to maintain that oxygen, but outside of that, just can't really think of too many things I can't talk about. I just love a good chat.
You do. You're brilliant on the mic and the WBBL, obviously, and whenever the mic's around. But are you like this in the field? Whenever there's not a mic around, like you're vocal in the field the whole time? Or?
Yeah, I must admit, I probably swear a little bit more. I'm probably more naughty. Grace comes out. And
don't forget about the kids on the boundary.
Yeah, I don't swear at them. I more swear at
That's what I meant.
What we're doing.
That's what I meant. Just keep it.
Yeah, true. I got young nephews, so I'm okay. I can rein myself in. I can check myself quite well and stay in a PG focused mind. But I probably can just get a bit more irate or a bit angry on the pitch.
Who's your soulmate in that regard in terms of competitiveness, loudness, verging on anger? You use the word anger. I won't call it angry.
Yeah.
But anyone else in the Australian cricket scene that can vie for you?
I reckon Shooter's a good one, as in noise and energy, and can talk. Shooter can hold a conversation.
Noise and energy.
Yeah, noise and energy. That's how I'll prescribe it.
But it's needed at times?
All
the time?
The Oz women's team, they're a fairly introverted group. There's people that bring energy, not so much noise, put it that way. They're big on they can move well. We're all athletes in that environment, but there's not too many that can take as much oxygen as I do. So Kingy's quite good at talking too, actually.
Yep.
But she's such a happy-go-lucky kind of person, whereas I reckon Shooter can be a bit more like, what are we doing? Are we bowling like this?
Couple of words thrown in there on top as well.
Yeah. If you added it.
What about cricket-wise? The things or traits cricket-wise of your teammates? It's such a great team, the Australian women's cricket team. So what are things that you look back at sometimes when you're out there in the middle or you're watching on from the stands and go, wow, that is so good?
Oh, there's a few. Have you seen Wolfie Field and Belzy running in and bowling when she's thumper? And then Pezzy, when she comes down the wicket to a left arm ortho, slots him over long off to extra cover for 6. Woohoo! There's not many better sights. So in the cover drive is okay. You can have a good whack over mid wicket. I think anyone can clear the front leg and do that, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's many better sights in cricket than just a lofted cover drive for 6. Yeah. I think that's my ultimate. It's the favourite shot of any batter. Can't play them, but
you can't.
Nah. The bottom man comes in and I play more like a drag shot out.
Yeah.
And, if the line's there, I might go, but I'm working on it, okay? I'm working on it. But the old lofted cover drive, they require a bit more techers and I'm a bit more force.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So if someone was to play a lofted cover drive to save your life, putting aside the fact that you'd wonder how you got yourself into this position in the first place.
Yeah, I am thinking that too.
Who would it be?
I'd pick Meg Lanning or Pez.
Yeah.
I think based on the offside and how much they play on the offside, that'd be it. That'd be the two batters that I'd go. Not that they would purposely leave it on middle. Like, there's no chance they're playing the lofted cover drive to save my life. But I would pick those two, like based on techies and just how it looks and when it comes off the bat. Oh.
Now, we're at the time of the year where everyone's really thinking about getting back out there on a weekend and playing some cricket.
Oh, yeah.
What do you love about the prospect of a game of cricket when you're on your way there to it?
Oh, I love the spreads at lunch. And
in moderation, of course.
Yeah, in moderation.
Poached, not fried.
Yeah, that's kind of, unless it comes to chicken, okay? But I love mainly just like a chance to get to play a game, I guess. It's just, it's not real life, if that makes sense.
Yep.
It's just like I treat cricket like it's a working holiday, and I probably shouldn't. I shouldn't say this, but I always say to select, I'm like, oh, yeah, I can come on another working holiday. You're like, picking me again, how good's this? Because it really, like, I couldn't think of anything more boring or anything than the old standard 9 to 5 office job. Like, I've worked it before full time, and I find ways to entertain myself, obviously, but it just is such a kind of privileged occupation that we have that you basically just get to have fun. You get paid for it.
Because you came in at a time where you still had to obviously supplement things by working.
Yeah, I worked full time.
And cricket actually cost you money, I dare say, when you went on tour.
It did.
But now it's flip side. So you've always maintained that appreciation of what it was to what it is now. Is that fair?
Yeah, I do. I like I worked full time, and you just had to train around full time work. So my week was Monday morning gym, Monday arvo, Tuesday arvo, and Thursday arvo were net sessions or skill sessions. Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings were gym and running and conditioning and stuff. And then from Monday to Friday, I'd work, 7:30 to 4 or
doing what?
9 to 5. I did admin work in a hospital in Brisbane, and then if there was games on the weekend, WNCL rounds and stuff, you'd travel out on the Friday morning. You might play Friday Arvo, a T20. Saturday would be the 50 over game, and then Sunday morning you'd do a T20 and then fly back on the Sunday Arvo. And I guarantee you, if you got me to do that now, I'd probably not make it through the games. There's no chance that you could get on a flight in the morning and then roll into a T20 that afternoon. Like, you got to appreciate, I guess, how professional it is now that you're allowed kind of like recovery protocols and time between matches and stuff. And
which is why you happily pump the brakes on the Krispy Kreme donuts to just get you through games.
Don't mind it. Don't mind it every now and again.
In moderation.
Oh, yeah. Look, if you have a big training day, it just means you can eat 4 of them, not 24. But
we're going to call this episode Grace Harris in moderation. That's the title.
In moderation. It's about balance, okay? The donuts are for your heart. Everything else is for your guts, okay? Like the chicken and the veggies and stuff, they're for your stomach. But the ice creams, lemon meringue pies, donuts, they're for your heart. World
Cup, India. What are you looking forward to most, apart from bringing home a trophy, which is the aim?
Yeah, that is the aim.
But not the guarantee.
Oh, I think we're pretty good. Aside from maybe a doser at breakfast, I'm looking forward to just kind of how cool it is to play in different venues in India. It's not really a country that I've travelled. I've only been to Mumbai and Delhi and Bangalore. And, it'll be fantastic to see other stadiums. And I think we also go to Colombo in Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka and India World Cup. Be good fun.
Absolutely.
Good fun.
Especially if you win a tournament.
Oh, yeah. Hey, look, if you run drinks for your country, come on now. It's not like you're working hard.
What?
Even if I get over there and I'm just running drinks all the time, I'll still love it. Like, there's...
You're thinking you might not play a game, or...
Yeah, like...
You'll play a few.
What,
If not all.
Maybe. Like, I'm not hedging my bets on it, but, like, good. It's, like, fantastic if I do.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be gold.
There you go.
Yeah.
You look at it like the possibilities, not the possibilities of something negative happening, the possibilities of something positive happening.
Mate, I'm going to a World Cup for my country. There's no negative downside to
There
that,
you
is
go.
there?
Exactly. We've got something called the Secret Cricket Club at Willow Talk, which is basically we get people on social media to send in some questions.
Yeah.
We've vetted them. It's all good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Could be some wild ones here, especially if the family are involved.
No, they're all good.
Okay, good.
They're all good. Sportsy says, who's the hardest bowler to hit a six off?
Well, based on current form, probably Sam Bates. I think she's had my number a couple of times in games. Yeah. I think mainly because...
At least you can laugh about it.
Well, it's the stage of the game. I always go a little bit more aggressive when it's a spinner because I think, like, they don't bowl that fast. I'm going, like, I'm having a crack. Whereas pace bowlers, I'm a bit like, oh, Gracie, they do a bit more with the ball, especially up front.
Yeah.
You know? So it's probably my mindset more like take them on, take the extra risk. Does that make sense? So you're more likely to get out?
Complete sense. Paddy says, what is it like hitting a six with a broken bat? It's not the first time you've been asked this question.
That was a bit fluky, wasn't it?
A little bit.
It came out, admittedly, it came flush out of the middle that day. I was like, ooh, there was no vibration or anything. It was just a clean break, but it was a clean one. Oh, yeah, like clean contact on that ball.
What'd you do with the bat?
Got it remade.
Oh, really?
Yeah, got it remade. I haven't really worked with it, though, because they reinforced it so the handle would never break again. And it's a bit too big for me. It's a bit too big for me now.
Tracy says, why are your bats named after burgers and what is your burger of choice? Is this still the case?
Yeah, well, the ICC kind of ruin it because you can't have burger names on the face of the bats. It's the advertising or whatever.
You have it on the back?
Oh, I can put it like up on the handle, but there's not enough room to write Zinger Stacker on the handle of a bat, can you? Can't write Zinger Stacker on a piece like this big. It's not ideal. Okay, why it started as burger names? When you get multiple bats and they're all stickered the same, I just simply wanted to know like which one was which.
Yep.
I got the idea mainly from Baz McCullum. Now, I'm not on the same paycheck because he was naming his after racehorses. And I was like, can't get a racehorse, but I can get burgers. So I went with one of my favourite foods. And then I only pick burgers that I like. So that's how it came about.
Okay, a couple more. Wayne asks, how has being a pro athlete changed your personality? I can almost answer that after these 15 minutes. Not much.
Well, I probably, you probably just have to pick your battles, I guess. It's more like I probably wouldn't socialise as much anymore as what I used to.
Fair enough.
Put it that way.
Good idea.
Yeah.
High performance staff are just listening to this as well. And the last one is not so much a question, but it's a statement. And I'm just going to wholeheartedly agree with it because Luke says, no question, I'm sure what Grace says will be entertaining. Luke's bang on. Spot on.
Lukey.
Grace, thanks for the chat. Good luck at the World Cup. And good luck just walking past that donut stand at the airport on the way out of the country.
I'll be punching a few down, I reckon, before India. But thanks for having me on. I love this podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for watching the Willow Talk podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't have to miss an episode wherever you are. And while you're at it, check out these videos up here. They're mostly good.